Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Lily Fifield, and you're watching Somos Uno. Today's special guests are here to help us get informed and inspired in hopes of putting us one step closer to that American dream. After meeting with them, we hope to introduce you to the great people that make up our diverse community and city. Today, we're going to meet Biby Gonzalez and Mindy Schroeder of the premier nonprofit organization Huntington's Disease Society of America, San Diego. They're a program dedicated to improving the lives of everyone affected by Huntington's disease through community services, education to advocacy, research, and also we're going to have owner and baker of M Squared Baked Goods, Michelle Castro-Martha, to discuss her journey to entrepreneurship and the importance of local business support. And lastly, we will be speaking to Realtor Lucy Nava about her background in real estate, along with Senior Loan Officer Joe Berman of Synergy One Lending. This is Somos Uno. Our first guests are true inspirations. Biby Gonzalez has created an organization called Hear Huntington's Disease, a support page for people, families, and friends affected by Huntington's disease in hopes of finding a cure through awareness and research. We also have Mindy Schroeder, Vice President of the Board for Huntington's Disease Society of America San Diego chapter, whose goal is to provide resources and awareness for people with Huntington's disease and their families. Thank you for being here,
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I love that you're here. I was mentioning it to you just a little bit earlier that I actually got to meet somebody that had Huntington's disease, and you guys were telling me how rare it is, how very few people know.
Yeah.
So please explain to our audience, what is Huntington's disease?
So Huntington's disease is a genetic disease. It's inherited from one of your parents. It happens in about 3 out of 100,000 people. So it's pretty uncommon. But because it's inherited, oftentimes the families know it's in their family and it's passed down from person to person. Unfortunately, it's a really tough disease to face, and a lot of times people go into denial in their families and they don't talk about it. So we want to come out here and just spread some awareness and let people know about the disease and let them know that they don't have to go through it alone.
And what are some of the symptoms?
So there's a movement disorder. Early on, there's some mood disturbances. Sometimes you'll see people with depression, rage. Often it's misdiagnosed. A lot of times, like with my dad, for example, he had the movement disorder early on, but it was so mild that the doctors had no idea that it was Huntington's. Wow. And because we didn't know it was in our family, he went 7 years misdiagnosed before we knew what he had.
Now, for someone watching that thinks, okay, maybe I have some of these symptoms, is there any difference between getting it diagnosed in the beginning or later on, like you said, 7 years later? Is there anything currently that helps patients to not progress?
So right now, there are no effective treatments and there is not a cure for Huntington's, but there's some really amazing research happening where if people are identified early enough, they can get involved in these clinical trials that are looking to slow the progression of the disease. And we're very hopeful in the HD community right now.
Now, Biby, you were telling me that you have a history of your family having Huntington's, and you guys, like many, didn't know initially what was happening, right?
Yeah, what happens is with the Latino communities, they leave their hometowns at a very young age, and they never go back. So they don't know what's happening over there, and
the history?
They don't know the history, so they start having those symptoms like the movement, the depressions. The movements are called chorea, and that's why the name is Huntington chorea, or Huntington's disease, also known in Mexico as enfermedad de Huntington, enfermedad de Huntington y chorea de Huntington. También el baile del zambito es conocido como eso.
Because you were saying, so baile del zambito is kind of like a dance. You were also mentioning that it was thought of back in the day as something negative, something like witchcraft.
Some towns still believe that it was witchcraft done on the family, and that's why generation after generation this keeps recurring to the family members, and they don't know, they have no idea, or they get misdiagnosed by telling them that it's Parkinson's.
So how were you guys able to figure out that that's what you had in your family?
Well, unfortunately in my family, I will be considered the 4th generation. There's a 5th generation already. But we found out through my grandmother. We've been part of the UCSD Center of Excellence of Research for Huntington's disease for 38 years. And that started with my grandma. Unfortunately, back in those days, it was believed to be a mental problem. Wow. So she was actually held in a locked unit, and sometimes even with a straitjacket, thinking that it was a mental problem and not the Huntington's disease.
That's so unfortunate.
Yes.
But you guys you've made an effort to make sure that people know and are aware so this doesn't keep happening, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, what we see in all of our families is that the persons that are affected many times are abandoned by their loved ones, by their husbands or their wives or their children, when they don't know what the disease is, because they get upset with them at the way they're acting, when they're explosive, and they don't know that it's part of the disease, for example.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I was telling you guys, my mom is a caregiver, and she actually cared for someone with Huntington's. And when I asked her about her patient changing, she was a very sweet person. I said, we know she wasn't so sweet anymore. She said, no, she was still a very sweet person. She said it was the Huntingtons that was taking over. She said she was always a very sweet person. And I think it takes that knowledge. It takes somebody who knows what's happening to be able to separate the two. And that's what you guys are doing, bringing some awareness so people know that you don't have to isolate yourself from those people, right?
Right. Well, you know, in San Diego, too, we have a really healthy and large Huntington's disease community. We've done a lot of outreach, and we just had a walk. We had over 300 people come out, and that's very large for the Huntington's disease community. And one of the things we want to do in these events, besides raise money, obviously, is connect people so that we all can hear each other's stories, know that what you're going through is also what I went through, and it's not just me, and I'm not isolated. So one part of coming on the show is letting people know that there's a resource for them.
And you guys are a part of this organization, right?
Yeah, I'm the vice president of the San Diego chapter. I actually just joined a couple of months ago, but have been affiliated for years with this chapter and just doing events and fundraising and awareness campaigns.
So is there meetings, is there other events that are coming up that people can look forward to? If they relate to your story, they know someone with Huntington's, or in the past maybe they have family history of it?
Yeah, there's a monthly support group that we have. And we have 3 different groups, people that are at risk for the disease, because remember, it's genetic.
Yes.
And the children of parents who have Huntington's, they may not know their status. And getting tested is a really big deal. So they go into a group for people thinking about perhaps getting tested and not, and they talk about those issues. We have a group for people that are affected, and they can talk about their own issues that they're experiencing, and a group for caregivers.
I love that you guys have each one. Everyone's going to deal with their own issues and have somebody that they can relate to in that group.
Because this is a family disease. It's not just the patient. It affects the family as much as the patient. Sometimes the patients don't really know, but the ones carrying all the
burden.
The burden is the family, especially because it happens at a younger age. Right now, we even have juvenile Huntington's, because the gene
is that seen normally? I felt like it was a little bit later in life, but
the gene has been.
Is that a common case?
The mutation has been becoming stronger and stronger.
Wow.
So now we see it in children.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the normal progression is people will start to see symptoms sometimes in their mid-30s, usually in their early 40s, but because the mutation gets bigger, it's a genetic mutation, when it's passed down, the disease tends to get more severe and come on earlier.
I feel like there's so much more to learn about Huntington's, but you guys have made a great effort by being here today, and I really appreciate you sharing your stories and giving the awareness that's needed to spread the word, and hopefully some people can make it out to you guys if they can relate or have known someone. Yeah. Thank you very much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And can I add some?
Yes, of course.
A message in Spanish.
Yes.
Se están haciendo estudios clínicos todo el tiempo. Si en su familia hay algún tipo de enfermedad neurológica, que no busquen ayuda, busquen a un profesional. Si gustan ir a UCSD, en el Centro de Excelencia, ahí ven todo tipo de desórdenes neurológicos, y está la investigadora más grande de la enfermedad de Huntington. Y para aquellos que saben que hay Huntington en su familia, no tienen que hacerles pruebas genéticas para ver si ustedes tienen Huntington, porque muchas personas no quieren enterarse del diagnóstico. Entonces, no tienen que hacerles pruebas, pero pueden participar aún así en los estudios clínicos. No podemos encontrar una cura si no tenemos al paciente. No podemos estudiar esto en una persona que no está siendo afectada. Incluso los que nos hicimos la prueba y salimos negativos a Huntington, podemos participar en los estudios clínicos porque llevamos el ADN también. Entonces, pero no llevamos el mutante.
Sí, hay formas de ayudar, aunque no lo tengas, puedes ir, informarte si sabes o si tienes a lo mejor el presentimiento, ¿verdad?
Correcto, es bien importante que participemos en los estudios clínicos y que no tenga miedo la gente, porque sí, como no hay cura, la gente que tiene dudas no quiere enterarse. Sí. No quiere investigar porque no hay una cura y es
Pero pueden poner su granito para el futuro, para, por favor, un milagro que salga y luego podremos tener una cura para esto. Correcto. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Thank you for being here today for both of you.
Thank you.
Introducing S1 Connect, Synergy One Lending's mobile app, the digital way to verify your assets to purchase a home. Download in your app store today. Step 1, click on Automatic Check. Step 2, select your institution or search manually. Step 3, enter your username and password to receive a security code. Step 4, click Save and Continue to submit your verification of assets. Synergy One Lending, a lender committed to speed, ease, and expertise.
Okay, now our next guest is a self-starting entrepreneur that began baking 7 years ago just for the fun of it. She now has an incredible local business, M² Baked Goods. Joining us now is Michelle Castro-Martha. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
So M², where does this name come from?
Well, my name is Michelle, and my husband is Mario. When we first started, he was helping me to bake. He loves to cook and bake, and so we started together just for fun, like you said, and experimenting with different recipes. But then obviously the business started growing, and he has his own work. He's a teacher. He's a math teacher for a high school. And so he couldn't keep up with, my demands. And so he had to step out. He still helps me a lot with technology, other stuff.
So it's M to the second. M².
Yeah,
I like
Michelle
that.
And Mario, yes.
Lots of love, even in the name. You can tell from your treats here. You put lots of love into everything. So tell us how it all gets started. How did you get your interest in baking?
Well, my mom was a baker a long time ago. Okay. She didn't do cookies, but she did cakes. So I grew up watching her bake and decorate. I remember one time she took this course, and I went with her and just see what she was doing. I went to college. I have a degree in communication. Okay. I did work for corporate for a few years. But then when I got married and had kids, I didn't want to go back to working full time. So, but I got bored, and I was like, you know what? I need to do something because I'm going to go crazy here. And I also want to help my husband, contributing. Yeah. So I started, just playing around, watching tutorials, asking questions to other people. And that's how I started. My cousins, I baked some for the family, and they're like, Michelle, these are so good. Like, you should sell them. I'm like, no, this is crazy. Yeah. They're like, yes, I want to buy them from you. I'm like, okay, maybe I can try this, let's see how it goes.
So you started with your family.
Yes.
And now
I'm
a full-on business.
Yes. I now mainly my customers are coming to me because somebody else recommended them. The majority are like that, and that's something I'm really proud of because it's the best. The best advertising you can have. Yeah, having happy customers, that's my main goal. And also the social media helps a lot. Mm-hmm. So I use a lot of Instagram. That was my husband's idea. Okay. You should open Instagram. Like, what is that? So I started there, and also my Facebook page. But Instagram is my main tool. You will always find me there. And that's how I connect with my customers too, and friends, family, but that's my main channel, too.
So if they're watching at home and they see these beautiful treats that we have here, or some of the ones that we're going to put on the screen while we're talking, they can contact you through Instagram. That's the main source there.
Yes.
Okay.
I also have an email account. They can. It's on my profile.
Okay.
And also the Facebook page. I have customers that have been with me since the beginning. Since
How long
7
has
years.
it been?
7 years. Yes.
Wow. So as soon as you got started, that's when the business took off?
It was kind of slow at first because in this business you have to create your reputation, and also my skills weren't like this 7 years ago. I have to be honest, So, so the customers, I remember I used to have 1 order, 2 orders a week, but my mindset was, okay, I have 2 orders this week. It's okay. 2 orders are good. Next week I'll have 3. And I went from 4 orders a month or a week. Then right now, there's some weeks that I have 10 orders, and each order is, it can have cake, cookies, and macaroons.
Wow.
So it's not just one thing.
So you're telling me you make more than cookies?
Yes, I do. Cookies is my specialty, but I also do other kinds of desserts like macaroons. I do cakes, wedding cakes, quinceañera cakes, birthday cakes.
That's big projects.
Yes, and also like my customers usually have an idea of what they want, and we talk about it, but they have the most crazy and unique ideas, and that's what I love.
And you're able to bring them to life. You were also telling me that you want people to support local businesses, just like yours.
Yes, it's so important. Invest your money that you so hardly earned in a business that it's local, that it's a family owned, that you're supporting a dream, that the money's gonna invest in a community, and that's gonna eventually make us all stronger. So there's a lot of creatives out there that need to be, seen, and knowing that you're fellow entrepreneurs supporting you and giving you, promotion and advertising you, it also feels good, It makes us a community strong.
So you were telling me that you were in the corporate world. I don't know what you were doing because these little treats here look like so much work goes into them. You have some here that look like they're for Dia de los Muertos, which is going to be right after Halloween. So they can still maybe get their orders in for you by the time that this airs. And you have some Halloweens and macaroons, which are very hard to make from what I hear.
Yes, they are complicated.
So you've taught all of this to yourself?
Yes, actually the macaroons, my husband learned by himself, and then he taught me. So it's like, I was afraid of those. I was like, no, I don't know. I don't know if I am be able to make them, but because even when you're an expert and you do them and they come out well, maybe next time you do them, the weather is not going to help. Humidity affects them so much. So if there's a humid day, they might not make it,
Well, I think our viewers can know that your cookies and your macaroons are always going to be good because we live in San Diego and we don't have too much humidity here, so you don't have to worry about the humidity. Maybe another part of the country, you can ship it to those people who have the humid weather.
Yes.
I really want to thank you for being here today. Your cookies are works of art. I don't know how people can eat these, but I'm sure they're delicious, so you can't hold them too long.
Thank you. Yes, no.
Thank you so much for being here. I think you're an inspiration to everyone.
Thank you so much.
That, life changes happen,
yes,
but you can adjust and do something and find your passion in something else.
Así es, yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Okay, we want to thank Michelle for being here today and reminding us what passion and hard work can do, and might I add, for opening up our appetite for success, that is. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is Somos Uno.
Video marketing on social media is trending as one of the major means of advertising and building your personal brand in 2019. You're probably asking yourself, what does Synergy One Lending do to get a front row seat to this show? You may not know this, but Synergy One Lending has access to the lights, camera, and action that brings social media marketing to a whole new level.
Want to check it out? Look at that, we're already here. It's crazy, right? Thanks, guys.
This is the main studio at the Synergy One Lending headquarters in San Diego, California, which is equipped with 3 remote-controlled HD cameras, 10 total TVs, and many high-quality production studio lights. Right now, I'm sitting on what we call the Storyteller set, which was recently updated with new furniture, a 9-monitor wall behind me, a giant touchscreen TV, and of course, the green screen, which you just saw. By the way, this is where I filmed my show this week today. Over here is our podcast station, which is equipped with 4 high-quality microphones and headphones and is capable of receiving phone calls in real time during your podcast session. This right here is our main desk. Outfitted with 2 TVs and a customizable color LED strip, this desk is now the home place for many other podcasts and shows produced by Synergy One Lending and Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. So you must have a ton of marketing ideas now floating around in your head. This studio is the perfect way to create videos for your social media awareness and grow your business. Here, you can and will deliver a digital mortgage and digital content that has no equal in mortgage lending today. Be a modern loan officer. We hope to see you here soon.
Now, our final guests are the yin and yang of the home ownership dream. They have a passion for helping people find their dream homes through hard work and teamwork. Joining us now, we have real estate agent Lucy Nava and senior loan officer Joe Berman. Hi, guys. Thank you for being here today.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Lucy, we're in San Diego. We're a show that's for Latinos, but I hear you're not from here officially, right? You were born in Tijuana, just like me. I feel like we have a lot in common from talking earlier.
Yes.
Tell us all about your story, how you came to San Diego, and your journey through real estate.
Okay, well, yes. In fact, I was born in TJ, Tijuana. I came to the United States when I was 11 years old with my family and started school here. And then after that, a few years down the road, right, when I was like early 20s, I started working at a Century 21 office as a receptionist.
Okay.
And one of the agents there saw potential in me in being a real estate agent. So he actually mentored me and helped me to get my license and get to where I'm at right now. So 16 years later, here I am.
That's amazing.
Yes.
What a journey. I feel like a lot of us in San Diego have similar stories of coming. I came at a very young age, but a very similar story with my mom coming to San Diego. You know, a young family starting here, starting new, as a lot of families are, and looking for homes.
Correct.
So what got you interested in helping people find that dream of home ownership?
Well, it's just an exciting process, helping them find the home, throughout the process, find the home. Once they find that right home, at the end of it all, deliver the keys to them to sometimes their very first home, and just the excitement in their faces. And, it's just very rewarding for me to be able to be part of that process.
So you were telling me that, you feel very connected to the community here in San Diego, not only because there's a lot of Latinos, but because of the military community, law enforcement. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So yes, I am a law enforcement family, part of the law enforcement family, and for that reason, I feel like I like to give back to them and help the agencies, most of them local agencies. Once we get our earned commissions checks, we donate a part of that to different associations. Normally, again, it's a local agency, and Joel is part of that with me. So he committed to doing that with me because we do like to give back. They try to keep us safe, of course, with what they do. So what else can we do to just, give that back to a little portion, right, to a great cause.
That's right. So Joel, you were actually telling me that it's not only law enforcement. Before we get a little bit about your background, you were telling me it's first responders. What else is it that gets included? When they purchase a home, you said? That's when you give a portion
so it's
back?
really important, like Lucy was saying, for us to be able to give back to the community and help make a difference where we can. And so anytime we close a transaction for a first responder, whether it's fire, police, sheriff, we take a portion of that earned commission and we give it back to the charity of their choice. In fact, we were downtown on Wednesday and presented a check to the district attorney investigation group for a closed transaction, and it's something where we feel like we can help just make a difference. It's the least we could do.
And you guys said that was for fallen officers?
Yeah, that was to the Fallen Officers Fund. We made that donation.
And then I made another donation a couple months ago to the Chula Vista Police Cadet Program, which is for the young kids that are trying to have a career in law enforcement. So I donated a check to them as well. So that helps them with their uniforms and trainings and stuff like that. So it's
beautiful that you guys are giving back. So Joel, you were telling me this process is not capable without the two of you. You guys really work off of each other and really appreciate each other's background and the way that you deal with customers. You were telling me you were an extension of Lucy. So tell me, how is it that you guys have been working together now for so long?
So I've been in the loan officer for about 17 years, and I've been working with Lucy for about 4 or 5 years. And we've just found that if we can work together in really as a team, it makes the whole home buying process from the real estate side and the financing side much smoother because you have the same goal and you're trying to reach the same the same end with the client. And it's not about the transaction, it's about the people. And so many times I personally hear real estate agents say, gosh, I can't get a hold of my loan officer. People won't return my calls. And buying a home is one of the biggest financial investments that you'll ever make in your life. And if you really don't have kind of a team behind you that's working for you and working with you, the transaction can kind of be a little bit rough. And so, in my part, I try to be an extension of who Lucy is, that she knows her clients are being taken care of the same way that she would, and that she can trust that. And it's an honor to work with Lucy. She's a tremendous real estate agent and is so ethical and honest and transparent and cares about the people more than the transaction itself. And that's special to be a part of.
It seems like she could say the same about you. Don't worry. The way that you're expressing everything, the way that you talk about your clients really looks like you guys really care. Now, you guys care so much about your clients. You guys even have events. Tell me about the events that you're having this month. It's Halloween time.
Yeah.
So we're having a pumpkin patch event where we invited our clients, past clients and current clients, to come and choose a pumpkin of their own, with the family, go on the inflatable jumpers, and we're going to be having donuts and coffee for them. So it's just, usually we deliver a pumpkin to them at their home, but now they're going to come and choose their own pumpkin.
I like that, and they can all get to meet each other and just talk about their experience. Maybe some of the clients you have that haven't purchased could get a little bit of wisdom from the ones that have, so that's a beautiful experience.
Right.
You said you don't only do it for Halloween, right?
Yeah, we also do events for Christmas. Like last year we did Santa pictures at my office with Santa, and they got to
Santa came to your office.
Santa came to our office, and then we raffled off some gifts, Disney tickets, and we had breakfast for them. It was just, to connect, and they sometimes have questions, and then that's how you can, they see you again. It's not just like you sell a home and then it ends. No, we like to continue that relationship. So that's a way of inviting our clients to events. And sometimes they say, well, you know what, I'm ready to sell my home again. When you're just inviting them, thanking them for using you and trusting you with that important purchase. But when they come, sometimes it just turns out that you get other transactions. So, it's just a great way to connect with them again and answer questions that they might have about the current market.
Say it's a friendly reminder that you guys are always there for them and for future clients. They can spread the word of how nice it is. I feel like I want to be a client and go to all these parties now.
Well, you're welcome to come to our pumpkin patch event.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. It sounds like a lot of fun. I want to thank you both for being here today. Is there anything else you want to tell your future customers out there?
Just, when they're looking for a honest professional agent to buy or sell their home, even or refinance, we would be very happy to represent them and work with them.
¿Y se habla español?
Claro, hablo español.
There it is. It's official.
Yes.
You guys are a great team. Thank you for being here today with us.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay, now that we've gotten our daily dose of knowledge, it's time to wrap up this episode of Somos Uno. I want to thank our amazing guests, Mindy Schroeder and Biby Gonzalez, Michelle Castro, and homeowner duo, Lucy Nava and Joel Berman, for being here today, of course. And for more content, head to our website at somosunotv.com and all of our social media sites. Also, if you can't get enough of Somos Uno, you can always watch and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you all for watching. I'm Lily Fifield. Don't forget que no se les olvide, we are one, Somos Uno.